All right. Hey, Yvonne, how you going? I'm just setting a buzzer here. Welcome to 14 Minutes of Fame with Misty Henkel. This is where we just, I don't know, just get in and have a good old laugh. Now, I know that you and I just caught up on your podcast. You want to tell everyone what your podcast is called?
The name of my podcast is The One Small Change.
The
And it's
ones.
about,
Yep.
yeah, so it's about how a small change can make a huge difference in your business and your life.
Nice. Excellent. So we were just on that, and you were asking me questions about me and my sales stuff. And you asked me a crazy question. Besides the sales stuff, what's one thing that you've learned this year? Watermelon skiing. Now, of course, you've never heard of it. So we had some good fun laughing over there. Um, so we only just met. Can you believe it was only a week ago? We were at Grand Connections, right? Their Grand Connections big mega event, over 85 people online. It went for 3 hours. It's amazing. Susan Jamera, who runs Grand Connections over in Canada, she does put on some mega events. You really get to meet a huge amount of people because
Yes.
she gets people with networks all to come in and bring their whole network in. So it's really nice to go to one place and meet so many people from other networks
Oh,
and just discover there's
absolutely.
so many networks
Yeah.
out there. And then, of course, we had a one-to-one 5 days ago. What's that? 2 days after the event, 3 days after the event. Now we're back online again. I feel like we've been besties like forever. We've only just met. So how's it going? 2025, right? So you help women in business. You're a business strategist. You help women in business. You're a bit of a sales guru like me. We seem to hold the same philosophy. You
Well,
do the business strategy stuff. I just do the sales component. I'm just
yeah,
gonna
but,
fix that
but you know
up.
what? There's a lot that goes into the sales component that I think people the first thing is you have to figure out exactly what you said, what it is that you want to sell and focus on that. And it's got to be something that you like.
Oh, 100%. You can't sell what you don't like.
So so that's the first part of my program. I have a 3-month program, a 6-month program, but the thing that people seem to start with me first with is my VIP 1-month program because it's an implementation program. It basically is how do you get more I do a monthly workshop which is attract better clients by using your unique power. And the whole thing is that you have to stand out. People have to be able to find you,
Yep.
right? If you're not willing to promote yourself and let here I am, they're not going to be able to find you as their perfect solution. And so, and it really isn't your fault because we have been trained to go, not to stand out in the crowd and not to as kids we're taught to sit down and be quiet and don't speak and, all that kind of stuff. And if you do something great, it's like, don't brag and have a big head. You know,
Family members are great. They're your support team, right? But if you like your job, they'll say this, yeah, okay, I get it. You like your job. Do I have to hear about it every day? And then we're trained to not talk about it. Whereas
right.
I say this, right? Now, when one of your family members say, I get it, you like your job. Do I have to hear about it every day? Here's your answer. Yes, you do. I have to practice telling you how amazing it is and how amazing I am. And then at the end, you're going to say, oh my God, you're the most amazing person on the planet in the field that you're in. And then we can go around and talk about whatever you want to talk about. And your family member is going to say this. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. Oh, yes, you are. Because that's the conversation we're having right now. And so I teach people to just get their words out that way because, yeah, you have to practice saying it. If you don't practice saying it every day,
So
you're
so
not
and
very good at it.
And
Mm.
so that's one of the things that I do in my program that we start in. We take a look at your pitch, which I call the introduction because I hate the word pitch. It seems not authentic. It seems like, you're buying a used car. Um, what is it that you're saying? And so often, my thing is if somebody wants something, if they want the gooey brownie, they want the brownie. Imagine if you walked into a bakery and you said, I want your best gooey brownie. And you said, okay, here's 2 cups of flour, here's a half a cup of cocoa, and I'm going to give you the recipe for it. You would not be very excited. And I think one of the other things now, as I think about it more, is it's important not to say, well, you have to say, my best gooey brownie has nuts in it. or my best gooey brownie has extra chocolate chip so that you can distinguish yourself from all the rest of the gooey brownies. And that sounds terrible, but part of getting more clients is just getting in front of more people.
That's the
If
secret.
you tell one,
Advertising, 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 advertising. There's a
and if
difference
you're
between marketing and sales. Marketing is getting known for that thing. It's advertising. And sales is asking, do you want it? Right? McDonald's does this brilliantly. They say, we sell hamburgers in their marketing. That's all it takes for anyone to drive to McDonald's. Now, when you turn up at McDonald's, whether you go into the counter or you go through the drive-through, Yvonne, can you tell me what's the first thing they say to you when you go to the drive-through at McDonald's? What do they say?
I don't know.
Here it is. What would you like to order?
Oh,
That's the
sorry.
sales part, right? The
You
marketing,
know,
we sell hamburgers, got them there. Even if it's a mom who wants to get chicken nuggets for their kid, they got in on the hamburger ad. We sell hamburgers. McDonald's never explains the hamburger. They don't give you the features and benefits, explain that your kids will love you. They just say it's a hamburger and we sell it. That's enough.
you know,
And
I
then you
went
just,
to,
do you want one?
and what else do you want with that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because my husband at one point was in a management program at McDonald's, and they taught them to always say, do you want a pie with that, or do you want to,
I
so it's
know. It's disappointing with this up because people upgrade themselves, right? They go from the burger and they already get as a meal, burger, fries, and Coke, right? But initially it used to be, do you want fries with that? Do you want fries with that? How many times do we have to hear it? No, I don't want fries. But inside of that, every now and then they'd get someone buy fries. Now all they have to say is, do you want an apple pie with that? I mean, why not sell a dessert? They bought the whole meal. Why not sell the dessert? They could still do that. They don't practice that, but they do start with, what would you like to order? Have you ever
so
been into an ice cream shop? Ever been into
so
an ice cream
let me just tell you what I think
shop? Mhm.
is the part that people miss in terms of the marketing before they, I take them through a process, and I said this to you, that I was in a program for, it was $25,000, and at the end of it I still did not know who my ideal client was, right? Because I had women, I had men, I had couples, I had healers, I had accountants, you know, I had a 30-minute conversation, and I'm sure this is part of what your conversation is like too, who said, "What situation are they in?" And I was like, "What?" They were like, "What situation are all your clients in?" And I was like, "Uh, they can't work any harder to make more money, and they want to scale their business." That's what my clients. And so part of what I did, because of my own life experience where I lost all my clients and had to start over during COVID, was, if I'm going to do this, I want to do something I like.
Mhm.
Do you know? And
Yeah.
that I can be excited about, because entrepreneurship is not for the weak of heart, or, a low, it requires a lot of resilience, and, taking rejection and trying stuff and failing and picking yourself back up and trying something else. And so the piece that I see that's missing so often for people is partially what I call the public service announcement. It's getting information out there. They may never need that information, but when when they do, when they realize they have that problem, you've been out there and you've been consistent and you've been available. And so, the example that I use that's really easy for people to see is, let's say if it's about cancer, right? My hope is that you never have cancer. Nobody that you know has I have a tickle in my nose for some reason. Nobody that you know has cancer, and so you may stay in that stage forever, seeing the public's service announcements, seeing things from, Women's Cancer Month and all that kind of stuff. But when you acknowledge that you have the problem, you stay in that stage for a split second. On one side of the doctor's office door, you don't have it. And on the other side of the doctor's door, you do. And now you're ready to start looking, going to Google and whatever. And when your name pops up because you've done the public service kind of thing, you've put out the information to people, people will go, "Oh, this person has been around. They're reputable. I've heard them talk. I've heard people talk about them, right? Now, the acknowledge that you have the problem, that stage changes. For cancer, it's very short. For some other things, like changing your career, it may take you years. You have the initial thought, you see some things, and finally you can't stand your boss or you retire and you decide you want to, and so now you go, I need to find a new career. But you stay, so people stay in that stage a different amount of time, but everybody goes through it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When they start to investigate, you're in the conversion stage. You're not necessarily in the attraction stage. You're in the conversion stage because they're looking for you. And if you've done the first two steps
The
right,
marketing worked, right? The
yeah,
marketing worked now, and they found you.
yeah,
Yeah, I have a problem. The problem that, as I see, is marketing worked and got the person in front of you. And then when they get in front of you, because everybody's taught build rapport, build rapport, build rapport, right? I don't teach build rapport, I teach maintain rapport. The customer built rapport by finding you. You just weren't aware of it. So you have to maintain the rapport that they built. You don't have to build it, they've done it. And if you maintain the rapport, then now you get to help them move forward because they already decided you were friends or they wouldn't be speaking to you in the first place.
and part of that comes out in what you're putting out there that attracts them to you. So,
That's right. That's why they
I,
found
I
you because they like you and they like what you're saying. They like that you
right.
keep turning up. They like
Well,
you're the answer.
first of all, we show up. Then the other thing is, it sounds really crazy, and it took me a long time to do this, but my people are dog people. I like people that have dogs. You could have other pets and stuff like that, and I'm fine with you if you don't. But I talk about my dog, and my dog will come in and bark, and I say, if you see me do like this, it means my dog has decided to crawl under my desk, deal with it, right? So that's something that we can, connect with, right? Um, and there are a bunch of other things. I mean, but the thing is, for me, some of it is words. If I'm reading somebody else's copy and it says the word journey or roadmap or blueprint, I'm in. Those are my words. I love that. It's like, let's see what they're saying. So I can be curious because I've connected. And that's why your unique power is it's not about, all right. So one of the things I learned is creativity is not coming up with something brand new. It's about taking two things that already exist and making something better,
Yeah.
right? Part of what I do is I take your heart business, the thing that you would do for nothing, but then it's not a business because you're not making any money and you can't support yourself. And I take your head business, which is the thing that you can do in your sleep and is kind of your gift and your talent, but it's kind of because you can do it without thinking about it, it's kind of like it's not exciting. And you can deliver those services to people who are in your heart business space so that they can get that, right? So it's interesting to me because for whatever reason, I'm a Venn diagram gal. And I'm very visual and I like charts and that kind of stuff. But it always amazes me when I actually, put those things together for people that they never thought of. I mean, and sometimes it's such common sense, but we don't see, you need an outside perspective to see what your unique power is. So for instance, one of the things that, a really easy thing was somebody that I was working with that was, selling something. And I said, you were in the military for like decades. Did you ever look at what their need was for what you have? And she was like, well, not really. And I'm like, why not? You've got so much credibility. You know exactly what they need, right? So it's to me, it's an interesting thing. It's a discovery, and it really helps people. My program is an implementation program because, like you said, people can go to Google and they can find out almost anything that they want, or Chat GPT or whatever. But that doesn't mean that they can put it to work.
No, I find that it's really this. We can go to Google or we can learn all this stuff all by ourselves, but eventually we're going to need a sounding board to throw an idea up against. And that's what the coach ends up being, right? Because the coach can keep you on track with, hey, you're getting off topic a bit, let's come back, right? So the coach can give you some, I'm listening to you, but hey, you didn't notice this part over here. So your bit in history that you've decided to dump and ignore, that's actually a vital part for moving forward. So you're in that, yes, that strategist space where you get to see all that past stuff. So yeah, it's vital. But the other side is that people need to first, the system is this. They're always going to see if they can do it for free all by themselves
Mhm.
until they realize that this is taking way longer and it's way harder than I thought it was going to be. And then once we've tracked through all that, I can do this myself stuff, you do as much as you can, but then you've got the knowledge to know the difference between what you could do and what you couldn't do. Some people go, I'll just hire the coach straight away. But if you don't know what you can and can't do, you don't know how the coach is helping. So there is a
Right.
strategy for coaches. They need to be a little bit further down the line. They can't be at the very beginning. Customer has to be able to work a little bit out for themselves so that they know what it is that they need to learn along the way.
Well, the other thing that I was going to say is I think that it's important, and I think people, this is why I think a lot of these big programs don't get you the results that you want. And that is we all learn in a different way. And so it's really important to know what it is that you need to get success. So it cost me tens
I
of
know.
thousands
I've done the same thing, right?
tens of
As
thousands of
everybody,
dollars.
thousands and thousands realized maybe that wasn't what I was after. I got some good stuff, but I didn't quite get what I was
Right.
after. But
But
now I
what
know the difference.
I know that I need hands-on. I
Yeah,
need I need me time, and I'm very jealous and I'm very greedy about it, do you know?
yeah.
And I don't do well in programs where they have like, well, we have weekly calls and there are 100 people on Zoom and the same 5 people jump on all the time and you can't get a word in edgewise. That's not me. So I think that, um part of what we have to do is show our clients, help our clients see how they're unique. We have to customize to a certain, within our bandwidth what we do, right? And that's why it's important that we attract our best clients because when we attract the clients that are, that we can do or that we convince, you spend more time trying to get results from them and they're not happy.
You don't convince someone. Tell them what you do. Let them join in when they're ready. Now I'm watching the time. Do you know that we're 4 minutes over? We've already gone for 18 minutes. Isn't that crazy?
No, it's not because we went over on our time too.
Oh yeah, I know. We could just like talk forever, right? Okay, so this is fun. It's fantastic to have you out chatting, Yvonne. And whereabouts in America are you?
I'm in Philadelphia, where the Liberty Bell is.
Okay, yes, which is East Coast, right?
East Coast, yeah.
East Coast, yes. I'm learning the sections like for time zones. I now like I judge America on time zones, but I view America on time zones. You're all in like lines now. It's wonderful to chat to you, Yvonne. I know we're going to keep catching up. It's not a one and done over here at 14 Minutes of Fame. It's kind of a bit like I'm planning on being, like James Corden or Jimmy Fallon, except that a girl and online and we just come out, have a fun conversation about, I don't know, whatever we're doing. Maybe next time we might talk watermelon skiing and you can tell me how you've tested that out. And it might just be that you ate some watermelon. And we're imagining what is it like to be, dragged through a slip and slide of watermelon. Who knows? We might even
I
come out and juggle one day.
I
There's going to
think
be a
that
group
is
of
so
us. We're going to practice
hysterical.
juggling. Sounds terrible. It might be. It might not
No, I
be.
said hysterical,
Oh,
hysterical.
it is definitely that. It is definitely that. All right. It was wonderful to talk to you today. Thank you for coming out to 14 Minutes of Fame and see you around soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.